Today I'm going to be showing you our new MK5 Supra 8.8 rear end kit. And this is the kit laid out here on the table with the full mounting setup and the axles and then the optional diff builds. So these kits are totally bolt-in affair. You basically just take your factory diff out and take all of our parts, put it together and put it up in the car. There's no cutting, no fabrication, nothing like that. The axles are also direct fit, so they just bolt right in. They are designed for the BMW hubs or for the Toyota MK5 hubs. And the kit comes with everything you need end to end. Drive shaft is optional. And like I said, the diff build is optional. So I'm gonna go over each of the parts here and talk to you a little bit about the kit, and then we'll actually go into installing the kit on the car. So this is the kit that you would receive if you buy just the mounting kit with the axles. So you have a rear mount, you have the rear mount hardware, you have the front mount and the front mount bushings for the differential, and then you have our cast cover and all the cast cover hardware. And this cast cover is kind of like a modular cover that we designed, and we use it for all of our kits. It has load bolts that support the main bearing caps in the diff to help support that so they don't egg out. Helps with high horsepower applications. And then it comes with the DSS Pro axles for the MK5 application with an 8.8. So these are developed just for us for this kit, and they work really well. They fit really well. So the way this would work is this cover here actually goes on to the rear mounting like so. And then this bolts into the factory locations in the subframe in your MK5 Supra. So one of the optional items in the kit is a diff build. And with the MK5 Supra, there's two cases that you can use. This is the iron T-bird case, which is the one I recommend. It's made of iron, it's super strong. It's really the strongest 8.8 out there. And then the other option you can do is the aluminum version of this case, which is found in the Ford Mustang Cobra IRS and in the Lincoln Mark 8. But they are an aluminum case and they're much weaker than this. And I think most of you guys in the MK5 are probably going to be making, 1,000+ horsepower that want this kit. So you're going to want this iron case. And you can find these in junkyards and you can provide them to me and I'll take that core and build it out for you. I'm having a little bit of trouble finding these in mass quantity to start buying the cores and then building them. So I ask that you send me the core, find one at your local junkyard, and I can assist with the directions on how to find one. But in the website on the shopping cart, once you add the kit to the cart, it's going to ask you if you want to build a diff with it. And in that build, you're going to say, I will provide a T-bird core, and then you're going to select your gear ratio you want. And for you guys with the 8 HP stuff, the factory auto, you're probably going to want to do a 331 gear. And if you're doing a manual car, like the car that we're doing back here now with a T56 Magnum, then you're going to want to do probably like a 410 or maybe a 373 gear if you want a little more highway gear. When you do buy one of these diffs from us and we're doing the build, we set it all up for you. We seal the case, we install the load bolts so that everything's set up and torqued correctly. The only thing you will need to do is add the oil. We even put the stubs in it for you. So basically it's sealed, ready to go. You just got to put the oil in it and send it. So the first step is removing your factory diff. And we have already done this, but I want to explain how you have to do this real quickly. I wasn't going to go through all the process of actually removing the factory diff just because it's just basically unbolting. But to unbolt it, you need to undo you did the upper control arm, Jesse?
I did all the lower stuff as well, just to pull the spindle out.
Okay, so you have to get the axles out, you need to get the whole entire hub assembly and spindle to move outward so you can get the axle out. So you have to undo the suspension and the control arms to be able to get that spindle to move out, and then you can pull the axles out with the diff. So that's one step that you will need to do that we have already done here. This is the factory diff removed and the factory axles removed, and you can see on these axles the inner stub that goes into the rear end is one piece. So that's why you have to remove the spindle on them, because it doesn't have a bolt on inner stub like the 8.8 does. So that's why you got to do the suspension and spindle removal. And then the factory diff only has one mounting tab on the back, whereas we use two, using a hole in the subframe that worked out like pretty well. One other thing is this factory bolt is not removable with the subframe still in place, and that's fine because you're going to be reusing that bolt on our kit, so that'll stay in. So if you're buying the kit without a built diff, so you have your own built diff and you got to install the cover, these are the steps you need to take to install it properly with the load bolts. So in the kit, it'll come with 10 bolts for the cover to hold the cover on, and then it'll come with your brass plugs and your brass breather, and you need to seal them up with your silicone or your thread sealant. And then you'll have 2 load bolts with nuts, and those will get silicone, but the first thing you do is you put the load bolts up through the backside so that they come up through this way. So this foot is coming up through this way. And then that I'll actually do is that load bolt's gonna sit on the back of your main cap like this. But before you set it, you wanna run them all the way up through this way. I'll show you that now. So this is how the load bolts should look before you install the cover. So they should be pretty much completely all the way up and out. So now we're going to go ahead and install the cover onto the diff with the 10 bolts. And these 10 bolts get torqued down to 28 foot-pounds. And of course, you're going to seal your cover too. So you're going to seal around here with, you can use ultra black, ultra gray, whatever you want. So now our cover is on, torqued to 28 foot-pounds. All these bolts were sealed. So now we need to put the load bolts in and get them set. And what we do first is we take silicone and we put it on these threads, because these threads are not sealed from the oil in the diff. So you're going to put some silicone on the outside of these threads, and you can use a little pick like this and smear it around your threads around the bottom there. And then you're going to go ahead and take your load bolt and spin it down until it's hand tight on the, so until you feel it get hand tight on the back of that main cap. You're not going to go any tighter than hand tight. So there's my hand tight, just like that. And that's how you set it up. Then you put your nut on and tighten it down to like 10 foot-pounds, nothing major, just enough to hold the bolt so it doesn't spin back out. So we're getting ready to put the diff up in the car, and now's a good time to put your oil in. So I recommend, I like Lucas brand, but you can use whatever decent brand, 85, 90 oil, 80, 90. If you're in a more hot climate that's always hot, you can run 85, 140 oil like that. So up to you on what you want to run, depending on your climate of your area. But typically I run the 80, 90. So you'll be putting 2 quarts in there, and then you're going to want to make sure that you seal up your breather, your fill, your side fill, and your drain hole with thread sealant. So now we're installing the front mount, and you can see I have these fender washers that go on top, and this mount will only go on one way. If you try to put it on the wrong way, this corner here will hit on the case. So you can see when you put it on the right way, there is clearance here. If you would put it on the wrong way, then of course it would hit the case there. Now we're going to install the rear mount with these 1/2-inch countersunk bolts into the rear plate, and these go to 25 foot-pounds. So before you go to put the diff up and in place, you're going to want to install your axles and get them in place, and then you're going to put your factory bolts back in, and those bolts get 75 foot-pounds, and the factory spec calls for 75 foot-pounds plus 45 degrees extra. And then on the front mount, don't tighten this down yet. You want to leave it loose. It'll give you a little bit of wiggle room to get the diff up and in place a little bit easier. So what we're going to do is, as we lift the diff up in, we're going to like let the axles go up in with the diff as we go up in. It makes it a lot easier that way. We do. So you can see, as I lifted it up, I held the axles in the cups on the inner stubs. That makes it a lot easier for the install. So hopefully you have a nice little jack like that, because it makes your life a lot easier. So you can see we have these front mount bolts still loose. So you can, at this time, you can actually put the top bolts through from the back side out through the front, and then your nuts will go in that side. So this is the secondary bolt that we add to the back of the diff, and it comes with this bushing and a washer. So to get it to go in, you install the bushing on the bolt first, and then you slide the bolt up and in with the bushing, push the bushing in, and then you can start your bolt into the rear mount on this side. So we're just going through and tightening everything up. I tightened up these front mount bushings. And as you can see, the default stack I have here set up is 1 washer on top, 2 on the bottom, and that's what you should probably set it up as. The great thing about this kit is you can adjust your pinion angle. So your angle of it leaning up, down, by simply adding washers in up here on the top side to put your pinion down. So this setting, I'll show you what the angle is on this. And what you want to typically do with one of these is you want to have your diff angle, say your transmission is pointing downward 2 degrees, then you'd want your diff pointing up 2 degrees. That gives you a parallel line for your yokes and your universal joints. And then the same thing on this side. This is the factory bolt. You just get it to start. Just make sure you don't cross thread these. Make sure it's starting nice and easy by hand. And then you can start working it in. Same on this side as well. Just watch you don't gall the threads. So this bolt you can tighten down to factory spec, no issues there. This bolt you have to be a little bit cautious, because this is just stamped steel and it's not designed really for structural. And you can squish the subframe. Like if you draw this in too tight, it's going to start smushing the subframe in, because it's just stamped steel. So just be careful on how tight you go with that. You'll start to feel it starting to smush the subframe. And once you get to that point, you can stop. You can put red Loctite on this if you're worried about it backing out. So here you can see my angle, which is like 178 roughly. So that's 2 degrees upward angle. And then if we go up here to the trans, and this is gonna be different for your trans maybe, depending on what you're doing. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to read that, but it's basically 2 degrees down angle. So we're installing the axle bolts now. I always put red Loctite on these. There's 6 of them per axle, and they get torqued to 85 foot-pounds. So 2 things. On the factory diff, there's a ground, and it shouldn't be needed on here. So we just moved that ground right here to this subframe. There's an existing bolt you can use that is on this bracket for the sensor. So that's where you move that ground. And then the other thing we need to talk about is the breather line. So you make a little breather line like this with a loop in it, and then you come off of that breather fitting here, and then we'll tie it up around this wire. So there you can see the breather line installed with the loop and tied up to that wire. The other thing you need to do is these factory wires that went to that factory diff, just tie them up out of the way so they don't get squished by the suspension and don't get tangled in the axles. So just tie them up and out too.